So let's talk about how a narcissist treats you when you are feeling sick or ill. So first, let's get into talking about how narcissists, they lack so much empathy and they are very sadistic in nature. So they enjoy watching other people suffer and being in pain and being ill because they know that their energy is lower, they're more irritable, they don't have as much energy, so they feel it's easier to pick on and bully people when they are sick and ill. If you notice that when you were feeling ill or sick, or sometimes for ladies, if it's your menses, it's that time of the month and you're probably hormonal, dealing with cramps or whatever, it can be painful, how they tend to act so selfish towards you, and it's almost like they're getting an attitude with you and frustrated at you because you're not able to show up the way that they need you to. They probably want you to be so full of energy. They probably want you to, be able to be well so that you can, if this is a relationship, they want you to be able to be intimate with them. And if you're ill, you're not in the mood for it, you don't have the energy for it, or especially if you're on your menses, you probably don't want to do that because you're like, no, no thanks. But what the narcissist loves to do is they love to just make you feel worse when you're already feeling bad. And this is when they're going to do some types of psychological manipulation and just try to gaslight you just to make you feel like you're crazy or you're looking at things a different way, when honestly they do things intentionally to provoke you. For example, I had this narcissist that I was in a situationship with, and when I was staying with him, Jacques fucking Jones, I had ended up catching a cold, right? So I was sick, and I had some soup. We went to the store, got me some Progresso chicken noodle soup, boom, and I was having my tea, whatever. So I had asked him to make me some tea. He made my tea. We're just sitting in the living room chilling, and then he goes into the kitchen, and he proceeds to start making him his food, like making him a salad, right? And then he comes out of the room twice and asks me a very vague question, saying, "Hey, you good?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." And then he comes back out, "You okay?" "Yeah, I'm okay." "You sure you okay? You sure you good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm good." And then he walks back into the kitchen, and then he comes out with his full plate of food, right? So then I basically say, "So you're gonna go in that kitchen and make yourself some food, but you didn't think to ask me or anything?" Then here comes the gaslighting begins. "Well, I asked you, were you okay? You knew what I was doing in the kitchen, right? I asked you if you were okay." I'm like, "No, sweetie. You were asking me very vague questions. If you ask somebody if they're okay, they're gonna say, yes, I'm okay,' thinking if you're asking about how they are feeling. But if you specifically wanted to know if I wanted my food, you should have asked that, and you did it. You did this intentionally. You know what you are doing, and you're doing this on purpose to piss me off. This is not working. Are you gonna go make my food?" So he proceeds to go make it, but because I outsmarted him, that whole thing didn't work. When you have an educated empath, they see right through the gaslighting. So they do this on purpose just to piss you off, just to feel some sort of. So after the narcissist basically intentionally provokes you and pisses you off and tries to make you feel bad and gaslights you and just does all sorts of mind tricks on you just out of their mere satisfaction, you're going to see how they are going to get a kick out of this. Like when they know that they've gotten you riled up, when they know that they have aggravated you, when they know that they have irritated you because they did this on intentionally to provoke you, and they know that they got some sort of that they rouse you up emotionally in some type of way. You don't necessarily have to scream and holler at them. You don't have to fuss at them or yell at them or raise your voice or cry or whatever or whine or complain. But just simply the mere fact of you having irritation and aggravation in your voice and addressing them directly in the moment when it happens, because that already shows enough that they got to you, because were bothered enough where you had to say something. But the thing is, you're bothered because they intentionally bothered you. Don't let them gaslight you. And what they'll tend to do is they will laugh it off and laugh about it and kiki ha ha and chuckle, but it's really not funny, because to them it's hilarious, because they are like a little stupid little fucker of a child that just wants to piss people off for no apparent reason, and then they get a kick out of it when they can see you getting mad instead of being an adult and actually just being helpful for you. This is how we know that narcissists are children. They are childlike. They are like little ass kids that like to piss people off and bully people just so they can feel some type of satisfaction. And you may write it off and think oh, maybe I should have been more specific. No, baby, because when you are dealing with a real man or a real woman, a lot of times this happens with the men, okay? But when you're dealing with a grown adult, someone that loves you and cares for you, you won't have to ask them all that extra kind of stuff. You won't have to ask them to be there for you and help you and support you, of course, like, because they would want to be there for you anyway, and if sometimes you'll have a narcissist, where their spouse is ill and they're laying in their bed sick, and you may ask, like, have you went to go check on your wife? No, she has to ask. She didn't ask for anything. She doesn't want anything. But you also have to understand that, like, when you in marriage, it's about that. In sickness and in health, when your spouse is sick, you be there to help them. You check in on them, because they are your spouse. You treat them like a lover. You also treat them like a child. You be there for them. That's something that is natural when you love someone, because narcissists do not love the people they are with. They don't give you any love. And especially when you need that love, that's when they neglect you. That's when they abandon you, because they want to make you feel worthless. They want to make you feel unimportant, especially when you need them most. That's when they want to walk away. That's when they show their true colors. So if you have been dealing with this, you don't deserve this at all, baby. Wake up and see these people for who they are. You're probably married to one.